Hey everybody, this is Kyle and Adam here from ProjectionHub, and we are back with another video of kind of what we like to call SBA burning questions, where we talk about frequently asked questions or, custom questions that people are considering as they look into SBA, whether that be to start a business, buy a business, grow a business. And in today's video, we had someone reach out to us and submit what we call like a free SBA review. And that's basically where they give a high level kind of details of their scenario, their loan application details. And so I'm going to read some of the details from that off to Adam, and we're going to get his recommendations for this person for their kind of unique situation, because it's kind of an interesting one. All right, so here we go. First, we're going to say this business is someone that has a lot of experience in their particular industry, which happens to be automotive performance parts. They currently work as like a high level position. They say the purchasing director for a large distributor of performance parts in the world. Sounds like they are going to split off and kind of start their own version of a business in this industry, and that they only really need $125,000 to get this business started, and primarily for working capital. Now, where this gets interesting is they say that their estimated personal net worth is pretty high. It's over $1.5 million. They've got a really solid credit score. They've got, equity in their home. So like all of the shining details of a loan applicant. So you're a loan officer, your mouth is like watering because you're like, oh my gosh, like this is a slam dunk. But you hearing that, so knowing they've got a ton of relevant experience, they have a very strong personal financial situation, but they're only seeking $125,000 to start this off. What's your take on this? Is SBA a no-brainer, or how would you kind of recommend this person proceed from here?
Yeah, that's great. So they could get an SBA loan for this. I just don't think in this situation that's going to be their best option. I actually think there's probably like several options that look like they could be just easier and probably cheaper. I would say the first option, so we always ask, like, are you willing to pledge equity in your home? They've got a $1.5 million net worth. Probably they've got a good chunk of equity in their home. And so my thought would be get a HELOC. They've got $350,000 or something of outside income. They've got outside income to be able to cover payments on a HELOC. They probably got the equity in their home. If they're going to go down the SBA route, there's a decent chance the SBA is going to ask to put a second mortgage on the home anyway. They may not necessarily be required at that lower level of $125,000, but they'll probably take it if it's available. So if you're pledging it anyway, HELOC's easier. Another thing that might be easier is with that net worth, I suspect they probably also have some stocks. They might have a brokerage account. You could probably get a securities backed line of credit, kind of like a HELOC, but based on your stock portfolio. Probably could piece together maybe $125,000 just from that. And then third option might be just like a personal loan. He's got a great outside income, great credit score, like just go get a personal loan. All of those things would be faster, cheaper, avoid the business plan and projections, all the stuff that we help with. But you could avoid that. Like, it's just not probably necessary. So I think, in this case, I would recommend skip the SBA and use a different approach.
Hopefully it resonates as like an insider giving that recommendation, because I think it comes down to like the primary purpose, or like even like the spirit of an SBA loan. Like the whole reason that the program I think exists is to help enable people who want to be a business owner or do own a business, and like the conventional financing options aren't like the best fit, or maybe they're not that attainable, right? So it's like a lot of times it's collateral shortfalls, or I don't want to say bad credit, but like less than stellar credit. Like there's a lot of these caveats that is like the whole reason I think SBA exists. So I think when SBA has kind of become synonymous with startups and acquisitions and just like the true small business, and it kind of feels like the primary or the only option. So I don't blame people kind of having that mindset of like, that's what they've heard before, or that's what they're familiar with. Because it's probably pretty rare that you have someone in this type of position where you have tons of experience, solid personal financial, like they have all of the things they should be, and they actually might be beyond SBA. Like they might be exceeding the usefulness of SBA in their situation. So I don't blame this person for like seeking that out, because maybe they think like that's the best practice for what they're supposed to do. But yeah, I would agree. I honestly, just purely from the headache and speed alone is probably why I wouldn't recommend SBA, because to get a $125,000 SBA loan, it's like you almost have to go through the same amount of pain as like a $2.5 million SBA loan.
Yeah.
So it's just the way it's geared,
You've got to still check the boxes that are a pain and time consuming, and yeah, it's just not going to be worth it.
So obviously they probably have personal options they could do, whether you said like HELOC or just different things that they could do on that front that kind of will probably eliminate the need to answer questions about the business use case and all of that. Do you think like a conventional loan has any merit in this case? So like still pursuing a business loan, but not an SBA one specifically, or do you still think you're going to wade into like a similar amount of red tape that's just not going to be worth it? And that, I guess the cost too, maybe the fees or different things you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really much of a market for conventional loans for a startup. I don't think they really exist. I mean, maybe you find a small credit union or something, that they don't mess with the SBA program. But if they're going to do that, almost guaranteed they're going to be fully collateralized. So then why not just a home equity line of credit? If they're going to be fully collateralized with your house or some sort of asset, then you might as well just do something simpler.
Yeah. All right. There you have it. Another SBA mystery solved. So if you're out there and you're in a similar situation as this, or you've got your eyes on a business, you're trying to start one and financing is going to be required and you're just not quite sure where to start. I think honestly, like that's what I've been hearing the most recently. Like when we do our live streams or different things, is people have they maybe have done a lot of the preliminary work, they put their plan together and all of that, and they just have no idea where to start, who to talk to first. There's different SBA programs and all different kinds of things. And so just like I said, I don't fault this person for thinking SBA was the right route. If you're sitting out there and you're thinking about where do I even start, you also can fill out one of our free SBA reviews. Link that down in the description below. You'll give us the high level details and you'll kind of get some tailored feedback on what we think a recommended next step would be. So you go ahead and check that out. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks.